Welcome to the Diecast Showcase. This is the video segment that's returning to Keystone Productions, where I take the diecast out of their case and show them to you. And today we're going to be taking a look at the 2017 Daniel Suárez Arris Toyota Camry that he drives in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. Well, how's it going, everybody? Eddie from Keystone Productions, once again back with a brand new video. And before we get too deep into this video, let me please urge you to follow me on Instagram and Twitter so you guys can stay up to date with all of the information concerning the channel. I post sneak peeks to videos on Instagram, and I'm going to be trying to utilize the Instagram stories more and more so that you guys can keep track of what I'm doing and get sneak peeks to videos and stuff like that. Twitter I mainly use just to follow the NASCAR races if I can't watch them on TV, but occasionally I will tweet some things out as well. But be sure to follow me down there. Links are always in the description of each video, and they will be, and my username is exactly the same as my YouTube channel name, Keystone Prods PA, so feel free to follow me and check that out. So without further ado, let's dive into this diecast showcase. If you didn't know, Daniel Suárez is my favorite driver in NASCAR now that Jeff Gordon is retired. So this car is pretty cool to me. Let's start this off by taking a look at the packaging. It is typical Lionel racing packaging with the informational sticker, the NASCAR hologram, the barcode, and the legalese on the bottom. So without further ado, let's take the car out of the box. And here she is, and isn't it a beauty? Now unfortunately, Lionel isn't releasing the Arris paint scheme that Daniel has run most of the year since Martinsville in the spring, so this is the only Arris diecast you'll be able to get for Daniel Suárez in 2017. But that's no problem because I think it is a great looking car. And as always, let's start the video off with a 360 degree look at the paint scheme. The colors are pretty simple, it's just orange, white, and a little bit of gray. But overall, as I said a few times already, this car is really nice, and I have to say the paint scheme looks pretty good, and I am kind of upset that they did in fact change the paint scheme so early in the season. As I said before, it's a pretty basic paint scheme, starting out with an all orange front end and an all white rear end, and with a thin gray stripe right up the side, and it does continue up into the window. There is a paint chip on this side, that's why it's not there. So let's continue on this side. That's pretty much it for the paint scheme though. Nice orange and white with a gray division, as well as some black accents around the car, such as the roof rails, the splitter, and the very tiny rear spoiler. Just look at the size of that thing. That is so small. But anyway, that about wraps up the paint scheme. There's not too much more to talk about. Let's take a look at the sponsors on this car. So as you might have guessed, Arris is on the hood with high-speed modems as the slogan. Arris high-speed modems also appears above the rear tire. Here to look at the C-pillar, we have Stanley. On the B-pillar, we have Toyota, some type of sandwich shop, and Coca-Cola. And the door has the usual contingencies without the Monster Energy Cup Series logo. Around the back, we see Arris.com in addition to the Toyota Camry XSE badging. And I would like to point out the rookie stripes because I do believe that the rookie stripes are a part of the paint scheme. Usually they're not really worked into how the paint scheme and the overall design of the car looks, but they're only on there for 1 year, and I have to say, it does kind of make a paint scheme look pretty cool. On the deck lid, we have the Arris logo again. This time it's in much different colors than the orange and black. And on the roof of the car, we have Telcel, the number 19, and Daniel Suárez's name with a really cool Mexican flag above the window net. So as this is a 2017 Camry, if you didn't know, the NASCAR and Toyota updated the front fascia and rear bumper for the Camry stock car that they're running in the Cup Series. So if I bring in the 2016 car, and this is a custom car that my buddy Carter, who does the Coke Zero Cup Series, I'll link his channel down below. He made this for me. It's a 2016 Suárez custom. And let's use these two cars to compare the way the front fascias look. Now in 2016, I thought the Camry redesign was pretty good, and I wasn't sure if Toyota would be able to make it much better because it's pretty aggressive the way it is. But then they turned around in 2017 and come out with this Lexus-inspired design styling, which I think looks really fantastic. If you just compare the front ends, there's so much more angles and so much more downforce and aerodynamic inspired elements to the front end of this car rather than this car. This nose is much more rounded, as you can see here. by just lifting it up. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just pretty round. There are a few indents and angles, such as right here and the fog lamp down there, but that's about it. And if you take a look at this car, every different way you look at it, you have a different angle. You have an angle there, you have two angles there, a plethora of angles along the front end, and if you look at it from the top, it really shows how many different angles there really are. There's these inlets here, there's a bunch of different angles and indents around the front grille, and overall, as I said before, it really does look pretty sleek. I have to say I am disappointed with Lionel though, because they did, on all their 2017 Toyota cars, make the headlight decals much too small. So unfortunately, it does take away a little bit from the car. But the changes don't end there, because as you can see around the back, not only has the spoiler been updated, but so has the rear license plate area. Around the 2015 and 16 rear end, it's much more rounded, with the only contour coming right around here. However, on the 2017, it's much more angular. It seems inspired by the Chevy SS rear end with the way the bumper is shaped, and also there's even some curvature and contour around where the license plate goes, which I think is pretty interesting because I don't really think that impacts aerodynamics, so I think that's interesting that Toyota thought it would be a good idea to change that. And the changes don't end there. Actually, there is an update on the quarter panel as well. As you can kind of see by the shadows given off by my lights, there is a slight indent here on the quarter panel, and then that's about it. Whereas on the 2017 car, you can see an indent here, and it goes forwards and back up again. So a lot of aerodynamic changes made to the 2017 Camry, and overall, I have to say that the car just looks so much better and so much more aggressive. So that about wraps up installment number 7 of the Diecast Showcase. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you continue to tune in because a lot more videos are on the way. Even though I have resumed college, I do have a plethora of videos on the way, a lot of Diecast Showcase videos, a couple vlogs, and a tutorial that not only have a lot of people asked about, but a tutorial that I think a lot of people will be interested in watching as well. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.